Hello and welcome in. It's Patrick, guys, giving you guys a quick message from our friends over at The Fan Stop. The Fan Stop is a subscription-based college apparel company. Yep, you heard me right. It's subscription-based, which means each month you get an awesome t-shirt from The Fan Stop. And guess what? We've got a promo code for you. Our promo code is DAGUYZ, DAGUYZ, DAGUYZ. And that gets you 15% off your first 6 months of t-shirts. The Fan Stop has two options. The first one being their premium option, which includes long sleeve t-shirts and hoodies during the winter months. And then their standard option is just a t-shirt every single month. The premium option runs you about $27, while the standard option runs you about $22 a month, meaning it is very affordable. It's more affordable than your local Walmart and other online retailers you could get for your college swagger. So go ahead and check out The Fan Stop. And not only are their t-shirts super, super comfortable, they have all sizes as well. So from kids sizes all the way up to 5XL. So go check them out. Use our promo code DAGUYZ. That is DAGUYZ for 15% off your first 6 months. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening and keep pushing it, baby.
3, 2, 1.
There's not one guy, one person in the history of this program that's bigger than the program.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
What's up and welcome into episode number 18 of the Program Guys podcast. My name is Mason Prince. I'm joined with you as always by Mark Hall, Matt Gann, Patrick Kurtzberger, Ryan Tyson on vacation in Turks and Caicos. Shout out to our boy Rai Tai. You gotta love it. Today is
Bro, he's
Thursday.
limping everywhere.
Today is Thursday, May 12th. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media channels at Program Guys with a Z on Twitter, at Program Guys with a Z on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Program Guys Podcast on Facebook, Program Guys Podcast. You can find us as well. Anything I'm missing, boys?
I mean, anywhere you want to get your podcasts.
Anywhere you want to get your podcast.
We're just
like and subscribe on everything. Rate us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, guys. You have no idea how much that really, really helps us. We appreciate all of you who have done it already. How we feeling, boys? What a great week. I was feeling a little down to start the show. Like I was like kind of dragging today, and I was like, oh man, got to record the podcast tonight. But I'm here now, and I'm happy to see your faces.
It's been too long.
I know.
Honestly,
it really
when we go a week plus, it's a little weird.
Yeah, that's why it feels so long.
It's been a long time because we were Monday last week.
It really has. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not living the dream like our boy Ryan Tyson, but I'm doing the best we can.
Dude, he's living his best life. In case you guys missed that, he's in Turks and Caicos. We're not kidding. The dude is living it up right now. He's a traveling man.
He hasn't been hit with any shells, but he is walking with a limp, though.
He also hasn't been like texting us at all.
No, he's been unavailable.
He's on vacation. Yeah. We get it. Come on now.
First of all, you don't get vacation. You don't get vacation from the program, guys. Yeah, let's be real. Okay.
We never sleep. We never sleep.
No.
Slight laziness.
Yeah, unacceptable. Patrick, I just want to say, did you get a haircut? We were talking before we started recording about other people getting haircuts and pallets.
Yeah, so I got a haircut and I'm really upset about it. I couldn't go to my regular guy because I had to and my schedules got mixed up.
Oh, okay.
And so this guy, he did a decent job cutting my hair, but the back, he just completely missed it. Not missed it, but it's very long. So it's like under the collar still. I'm going to grow a mullet in a week and a half. And I paid this guy $50.
What's wrong with that?
$50?
Patrick.
Yeah. Oh my
gosh.
No,
I told you I couldn't go to my regular guy. So
dude,
I don't care. So you find someone for $25.
I know. And I Venmo this guy right after my haircut because that's how I paid him.
Yeah.
It was a barbershop. I don't know. They do that now. I feel like just messaging him on Venmo and being like, hey man, kind of walked out with a mullet there. Feel like, can I come back in for free and see what he says? But
I don't think messaging him on Venmo may be the way to go. Why don't you just call the establishment? I'm sure they got a phone call.
Yeah, you could do that.
Might be a little weird to send a message over Venmo.
Obviously, I haven't had a full-on haircut in a long time, but the guy who used to cut my hair, I still go to him to get my beard trimmed and stuff and see him. And he always tells me if I don't like it to come in within 48 hours and I'll fix it.
Oh, so that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's my guy. So he's solid. Why don't you fly to Tulsa and get a
might have to.
All right. We'll talk some sports. Thanks for sticking in with us 3 minutes into the podcast. We're talking about haircuts.
Might be our best start.
It honestly might be. Slow news week, I guess you can say. We'll hit some quick on some NFL news real quick. Nothing really happening. They're in OTA. Are they OTAs right now?
No, it's like voluntary camps.
Yeah, voluntary camps or something like that. Everybody's there. Sony Michel signed with the Miami Dolphins. We don't really got
it. The only news on the outline is Mason's team signing someone.
Dude, I was scrolling through Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport's Twitter feed, and there's nothing. There's nothing, man.
Bro, if we're talking Dolphins, though, we should really talk about the video.
Dude, okay. For those of you,
we have to bring it up.
We do. Mark, you go ahead. You
okay? So I don't want to say anything out of turn. So it's a video that the Miami Dolphins posted, and it's Tua dropping back and throwing a pass to Tyreek Hill. It's very close on Tua, so you don't really get a good sense of how far the pass might be flying, and it follows the ball, and Tyreek Hill is not running when it gets there. So it really just makes you wonder, why are we posting this one, man? What are we doing to our guy?
No idea.
Teddy Bridgewater. That's what we're doing to our guy.
Yeah, I tweeted at the Miami Dolphins and said whoever okayed that video to be posted deserves to be fired. And I'm not joking. Like, I don't call for people's jobs often. That is a fireable offense if you're a social media coordinator. Me being in the media world, I know if you don't know the whole like narrative around Tua right now. And that's the video that you post out of an entire practice. Let's be real. That wasn't the first ball he threw to Tyreek Hill. That's just the one that they chose to post. And that's the one you actively choose to post. Fireable. You are fired. I do not feel bad.
Conspiracy time. Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Maybe they actually want an easy way to slide into Teddy if Tua starts 0-2.
Yeah, could be.
Who knows?
I hope not.
Baby.
I don't know. It drives me up a wall. But I did say, to defend Tua, like I'm always going to do, I looked up Tyreek Hill highlights today just for the fun of it, and it was 2021 highlights with Patrick Mahomes, his quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The first two highlights were Tyreek Hill going long and Patrick Mahomes underthrowing him. So
man, he's gonna have to really slow up.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's too fast to know what he's doing.
Exactly. I know I'm not saying those two things are equal. I'm just pointing out, like, you can pick and choose stuff, especially from a whole practice. Who knows why they chose that play, but whatever.
I think it was dumb. I also think Mike McDaniel is going to use Tyreek in some different ways than just deep ball guy, right? Like,
yeah.
He's going to be coming right off the line, doing that stupid little thing that him and Mahomes have done forever, where it's just like, run, catch a ball.
Yeah.
And he's just faster than everyone.
Yeah.
Tua's going to be great at that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not difficult to throw the ball to Tyreek Hill and make him look fast. You know what I mean? Just like, he doesn't have to go deep every play. We're not in high school.
He's still very fast.
Yeah, it's literally fine.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys,
Matt.
Other than obviously the news being slow, especially in the NFL, have they released the full schedule? Because I've seen some games.
Yeah.
Like, I know the Packers have they have an international game and all that. I didn't know if they released the full schedule or if it's only a couple of those kind of highlight games.
We don't know the dates of every game, but we do know who each team's playing.
Yeah, we know who each team's playing. They're nickel and diming us. There's been rumors that the NFL is trying to turn the schedule into a week-long event, like on NFL Network and stuff and ESPN to like
schedule.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous.
Wait, like a game every day? Sorry.
Like they take a whole week to announce the full slate of schedules. So like one day they do like Monday Night Football, and like one day they do Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football, and then the rest of it is like, here's everything else. It's
parsed out throughout the rest of the week. Yeah,
it's just stuff like that.
I did see the Rams have the hardest strength of schedule this year.
I believe that. Yeah, I mean that's usually what happens with defending Super Bowl champs. You play, the way the NFL schedule works out is you play like the best teams from like each division, or the better teams from each division. Is that incorrect?
No. So if you win your division, then you play the number one from that year in whatever divisions you're slated to play.
Yes.
Not necessarily for the Super Bowl winner. you get that. So like,
Gotcha. Okay.
when the Giants won as a 6 seed, they still probably had a cool schedule.
I gotcha. I'm with you. Well, those games are going to be on TV. The TV schedule is going to be announced. Some guy who's going to be on TV once his career is over is Tom Brady, the GOAT. Did he sign, or is it just reported a 10-year, $375 million contract? In case you're bad at math, $37.5 million a year. That's crazy.
Insane. That's the most money any sportscaster will make. And that's not even until he
Easily.
retires. Yeah, it's by like millions and millions of dollars. It's a crazy deal. But what a life, right? I mean, you get to play the greatest sport on earth, win 7+ Super Bowls, and then you get to be a broadcast for another 10+ years. I mean, what more can you want?
Pat, give me
Especially
your top 4 color commentators in football right now.
We're just too many.
It's
Don't do that.
too.
There's the networks, just like the main networks. That's not hard.
No, it's not. But there's just too many good ones.
Okay, give me your top. Give me your number 1 then. You don't have one. All right, Mark, I want yours.
Actually, okay, go ahead, Mark.
You want me?
Let me think on it.
Okay, think on it.
So in any sport,
No, in the NFL, like the
In the
NFL, the
NFL.
NFL teams
in the
of
NFL.
broadcasts. Yeah.
Oh, so the teams of the broadcast.
Yeah,
I mean,
I changed the question on him.
no, it's all right. I kind of get it. I guess CBS when Romo's doing it. I
Okay.
know that there's a lot of Romo backlash, but
Mhm.
to me, it's between that and Collinsworth and Michaels. But I just like what Romo gives me a little bit more.
Yeah.
they're not gonna Al Michaels and Chris, they're splitting up, right?
Yeah, it's
And Al
Tirico.
going to,
It's-
Right,
Yeah, it's Tirico and
Right.
Collinsworth now.
Al's going
Tirico's
to
great.
Amazon, I think, right? I think it's what
Yeah.
I was
With
reported.
Herb Street.
Yeah. That'd be a good one. I like Kirk. Obviously, Kirk's one of my favorite college guys. So it'll be nice to see him more in the NFL space as well, especially when
It'll
they
be
have
fun.
done a couple of Monday night games the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried we're gonna get less of Kirk in both places. You know what I
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
mean?
agree.
You know, he just can't dive in.
Well, no, and like Kirk was like the college football guy. Like you
Yeah.
went to him for like everything. Any college football breaking news, you wanted to hear what Kirk has to say. And like you said, like you pointed out, Mark, he's just not going to be able to do that from now on. He just won't. Like in
Right.
terms of schedule, it's just not going to work out.
He's got the same obligations for the NFL now.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's hard to feel bad for him though. He's going to make
He's
tons
fine.
of money. Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
okay. He'll be okay. You guys want to talk some OU football?
Real
Move on.
fast,
Yeah.
I want to stake a claim here.
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Brady will not be good at being
Really?
a football analyst. So
Hot
here's the
take.
thing. Other
Okay.
than being like super successful at football, Tom Brady's not cool. And he's not like
Yeah.
fun to listen to. Like he's a great leader. I'm not discounting anything like that. But just as a dude, he's not going to be as fun and interesting as we're thinking.
He's cheeky on social media and that's
He is.
fun, but I get what you're saying, Mark, in terms of like an entertaining guy in the booth. You're going to have to, people don't realize that's 3.5 hours of you like being in, like engaging. That's
Talking
tough.
The
It's
whole
tough.
time.
It's not easy.
Right.
That's why Peyton Manning's deal makes a lot of sense. There's like no pressure. He just sits
Right.
there and BS's with anybody. And
He
like,
has a podcast while they're watching a show or
Yeah.
watching the game.
$1 million idea. Why didn't we
Yeah.
do that?
We will.
We're getting there.
We will. We will.
Follow us on Facebook.
Anything else before we move on to OU football? Okay, cool. Move on to OU football. Guys, the Big 12, slow another news day, but the Big 12 championship odds were released for the Big 12 conference for football. Vegas released them, I should say. OU's the favorite, 7-4 odds. Texas is the second favorite, 2-1 odds. OSU 5-1, I believe. No, Mark.
Oh no, sorry. I
Oh,
was
okay,
grooving.
okay.
If
you're watching on
able
YouTube- If you're
I
watching
wasn't
on our
able to-
YouTube channel, Mark's dancing. Go ahead, Mark.
yeah, I wasn't able to actually find these odds at any of my
Oh, weird.
non-existent books. So
I take it. I
um,
take it back. I have it right in front of me. So yeah, Texas 2-1, OSU 5-1, Baylor 15-2.
that's plus 750. I hate that they do numbers that way.
Iowa State coming in at number 5, 12-1. TCU 14-1 odds. Texas Tech 40-1. That's 40. Same for West Virginia 40-1. 50-1 Kansas State, though that's low. Kansas coming in at 300-1 to win the Big 12 conference. Anything intrigue you about this? Because I'm about to go off on Texas just real quick whenever the time comes. So go ahead, jump in.
Boys.
I mean, again, it's very early season odds. I mean, I appreciate OU being number one. I feel like when OU comes in kind of behind the scenes a little bit, like we're not in a top 10 ranking or we're not like the favorites to do, I feel like we come out a lot stronger. Now, maybe that's just previous regimes of just not preparing and living up to the hype. But I kind of like it when we're a little bit behind the scenes, playing behind. It's kind of like that Baker Mayfield year when I think we were double-digit seed at like 11 or 12 and ended up making it into the playoffs. So preseason odds, I'm just ready for the season to start to see, what Brent Venables and company actually shows out. And hopefully we can live up to the hype because there's a lot of hype out there for sure.
What you got, Pat? Anything surprise you?
Yeah, no, nothing surprising. I agree with Matt. I like it when we're kind of ranked a little lower coming from behind. However, I think these are spot on.
Okay. You think they're
spot on.
Okay. Mark, what about you?
So a few things. Kansas State at 50-1 is cute, but don't actually spend your money. Deuce Vaughn's not winning a conference on his own. I have some stuff on Texas, but I'll see if I can work it into your thing on Texas.
Okay.
If there's a way to do that.
I'll be quick.
No, you don't need to be. I'm just, I'll find my space. And OU at plus money is a gimme.
Yeah.
It's a gimme.
Yeah.
If you have looked at everything that Coach Venables and the staff has done this spring, and you've seen the pedigree and the years of success that the staff has put together, and you're not like, oh yeah, they can make all of this 4- and 5-star talent work, then I guess we're just looking at a different thing.
Yeah.
Because we've still got the most talented roster in the Big 12, and stack our coaching staff against any, I would take them.
Yeah.
So plus money, man. The reason I was looking is because I was betting, but wasn't able to find it. So I will cede the mic at that. Yeah.
So my biggest problem with this, if I'm OSU, I feel hella disrespected at Texas 2-1. If I'm OU, I'm disrespected at Texas being 2-1 odds, even second. I get that the name is Texas and they're a big name, and this is what happens every offseason. We build them up, and then they disappoint. This team is being flaunted to us as a legitimate contender for not only a conference championship, but a playoff spot. This is the exact same team, besides a quarterback, who lost to Kansas, who went 5-7, who looked like an absolute dumpster fire. Folks, they have the same coach. You want to tell me about Xavier Worthy being so good? And he is. This is not a knock on Xavier Worthy. You want to talk to me about Bijan Robinson being so good? Absolutely. He's fantastic. Those guys were on the team last year when they went 5-7. Quinn Ewers comes in. He hasn't taken a legitimate snap of college football. He couldn't win the job at Ohio State. What makes you think he's going to be good enough to win a conference title or even compete for a national title? It drives me up a wall whenever we build Texas up for this. I don't understand it. They're the same team. Also the same team who kept a coach on staff who had a freaking monkey who bit a kid's finger off or whatever, bit a kid.
Owned by a shepherd girlfriend.
And Mason, I agree with you there. I agree with most of what you said. I'm also pro hate Texas. I just think that it is the same team. And if it's going to happen, like they're going to be good in the next few years, I think this year may be the year, because they are the same team. They do have the same weapons and they could step up. I think that's just a possibility. And part of the reason why I said that, I think this may be spot on, because it's the third year of their head coach. decent players
Second.
in their second year. Okay.
Second.
Yeah, you're fine.
Second year. But and so that's
Points-
kind of my
points
reasoning
still
for it. It
stands.
doesn't
Yeah.
super surprise me. And they
My
could do it.
my
I
biggest
guess-
go ahead, Mark.
Well, just all we've heard this offseason is about the terrible culture at Texas.
Yeah.
All we hear is that the older players don't want anything to do with the younger players because the younger players don't want anything to do with football. All the kids there are there because they secured a bag. And my point was the exact thing Mason said. It is Bijan Robinson and Xavier Worthy, who are phenomenal players. There's no taking anything away from those guys. And a quarterback we've never seen before on a college football field. So at 2-1 is to get people to bet it. Because if Texas was the plus 450 that they should be, they're not going to get as much handle on that as they will at plus 200. So that's what it is there. But this is a ridiculous call. It's so mean to the bettors to do this.
And we don't have to spend much longer on this as my dogs freak out. I think my fiance's home. So you think about Texas and you think about how, oh, this is a team that they're bringing all these guys back and all this stuff. They were 5-7. Yeah. Last year. Yeah, for sure. But this year's a new year. Think about it really hard in college football. What team goes 5-7 and then competes for a national title in college football? In the NFL, it's completely different. You can go 4-12 one year and be in the dance. In college football, you don't see anybody do that because the teams that compete for titles are already solidified powers. They get a little bit better every year, which causes them to get a little bit better. Texas has a disparity that's that big. You're telling me they're going to make that up and then some with the same roster and a different quarterback? No way. I can't buy it, man. I just can't. I don't get it.
Well, that's why they had 0 draft picks. So they're all coming back. They're all coming back to the team.
Again,
That's why.
yes, Matt.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
I think that's the kind of wild thing with Texas is like they do get so much talent in the door that every season is just a lottery ticket. And it's just like, yeah, we're probably not going to win, but maybe we win. And then we'll be back after we beat Georgia.
I know. It's crazy.
So dumb.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments on YouTube. Is Texas back? let us know in the comments on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube page. What'd you say, Mark?
No, that's it. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll move on from that. Some transfer news. Davis Bevel transfers in from Pitt. He was Kenny Pickett's backup, I believe, or like a third string, something like that. Whatever he was, he's coming in to be the backup. Let's not make any noise about it. Let's not pretend that this is anything other than that. Anybody have anything to add on him? I don't know.
I mean, but is he backup 2, 3, 4, or 5 at this point?
idea.
I mean,
I would think 2. I would
Yeah,
just
really?
imagine 2. Well, maybe not, but I think we're gonna have packages for him. He's 6'6", 235, and he's gonna get in the room with Schmitty and be 6'6", 245, and suddenly you can do a lot of stuff with that guy if you're in the red zone. So I think we'll do stuff like that. Maybe I don't know past that. I don't know enough about the guy.
Yeah. Some big news on the transfer front. JJ Hester, he's a wide receiver from Missouri, redshirt freshman, coming in 6'3", 202 pounds. He went to Booker T. Washington High School in Tulsa, and he had 12 catches for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns last year. The kid's fast. His like pinned tweet on his profile is like he was the 3rd fastest receiver like week 3 of college football last year. Cool. Like he hit like 22.5 miles an hour or something on a run. He was like Traylon Burks, number 1, somebody else number 2, and he's number 3. So he's a speedster. He can bust it open a little bit. That's exciting to see. Glad he's coming home. Mark, you're the one I got this from. So what do you think?
I just think if you can add talent to the wide receiver room, you should always do it.
Yeah.
And that's what this move is. We've talked a little bit about how it's funny. We have guys, but it's also like, it's all guys who need to step up in a way aside from Marvin. And so, well, and Drake is established.
Yeah.
But there's space for catches on this team and add competition. Why not? Let's get the best guys we possibly can on the field.
Absolutely. Matt,
Plus, you could rotate more guys out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just saying, it sounds like he's going to replace Mike Woods, which was kind of like our speedster from last season. So it's always good to have that kind of speed to take off the top off defenses, put pressure on. So like Mark said, there's going to be plenty of rotation, especially with that much talent in there. So hopefully he can make some big catches for us when we need it.
Okay. OU is number 4 in 24/7's post-spring football rankings. That's a thing. Okay. Anybody anything to add on that? I mean, like whatever. Okay. OSU, by the way, coming in at number 20 on those rankings.
I'm very surprised, but also shout out to any outlet for calling it like it is and not throwing the pity party for OU.
No.
The way that it's like, well, their coach left them, so they're going to be 22 or unranked on some boards. And it's just like, that's not realistic.
Dude, I like that we're number 4. We would have been number 4 had all of the things happened or not. Right. Yeah. Because we got in front of them, we got Georgia, Bama, and Ohio State. So like,
those teams are.
By the way, right behind OU at number 5 is Baylor.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. That's weird.
That's impressive.
Also contradicts their other articles, but okay.
David Aranda's a good coach.
David Aranda is, man.
He's going to be kicking ass at Ole Miss in a few years.
Sooner, I'm looking at USA Today now. OU comes in where was I looking at? There you go. OU's number 4
in the transfer portal rankings.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Oh no, I was looking at it. So
okay, yeah. OU's number 4 in the transfer portal rankings. Number 10's Miami, 9 TCU, 8 Texas, 7 South Carolina. Shout out Beamer. 6 UCLA, Alabama at 5, OU 4, LSU 3, Ole Miss 2, USC 1. That's where those rankings are.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that USC was just allowed to do this. It's just like, I'm looking at them at number 1. I'm looking at it. It's just like, dude, hold on. What? That's
crazy.
Wild.
It's crazy.
I mean, man, we crushed it in the transfer portal.
We really did.
This is before adding JJ, a former 4-star receiver.
Yeah.
So he is selling a vision that people are buying. I love it.
Also, 3 Big 12 schools in the top 10. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Big 12 is capitalizing on the transfer portal stuff. I don't really know how OSU did. I'm very curious when the season rolls around to like just see what OSU's team looks like. I don't know enough about them to know right now. And granted, they've had tons of roster turnover, but I'd be excited to see what OSU looks like, because what we just talked about with those, preseason or, early Big 12 rankings or whatever, or odds. I think OSU being at 3 is kind of whack. I think they definitely showed more than Texas, and they still have shown more than Texas. I think they should have been the second favorite, but that's just me.
Yeah, we'll say I'm more curious about how the transfer portal will be for OU moving forward, because it seems like a lot from what BV has said that he wants to get his recruits in there, keep them for a couple of years, grow them into what he's looking for out of a player. So I think this is really his emphasis this year coming in, bringing more guys in. I just wonder how he'll actually utilize the portal in the future. But it's obviously good to see, because we needed to bring in some talent from a lot what we lost this year or this offseason.
I like seeing the flexibility out of him, because I was concerned early that he would avoid the portal like Dabo does. And it's good to see he's open to it.
Yeah, you can't do that now.
It seems like he more wants to avoid it, but if he's not able to, he's going to utilize it.
I think the more we see of Brent, the more stuff you see, how he is obviously like Dabo, but he's a little more, he can bend Dabo's like frame a little bit more. Like it's not just black and white. Like Venables has a little bit of gray area to him. And I think that's going to help in the long run.
I agree.
NCAA is trying to put the cookies back in the cookie jar.
Listen to my hot take last week.
Dude, they are lost right now. NCAA's Division I Board of Directors published new guidelines Monday to clarify that boosters, including recently created companies designed to provide athletes at a particular school with endorsement deals, should not have any contact with prospective college athletes, their family members, or their representatives. So you're telling me that there's a problem with boosters reaching out to recruits and transfer portal athletes? Who would have thought?
I would have never known that.
Yeah. The NCAA, always too little, too late, man. They're clueless.
It's really bad.
They had time.
They
had plenty of time to come together and create a set of regulations before it got to this, and they chose not to. It's ridiculous.
They didn't even have to roll it out. They could have delayed it until they figured it out. That's the crazy thing.
It was a legally binding kind of. They had NIL was going to start then, no matter what.
Huh. Okay.
And the NCAA said they're going to go back as
retroactive.
Retroactive 10 months.
That's kind of crazy. I actually don't agree with that.
It's ridiculous. It's never going to work.
No,
it's never going to, because they're going to go, and then the people that they're going after are richer than the NCAA. They're going to sue them to hell.
I just don't understand. These boosters, it's literally what they do. Yeah. And you gave them the green light to do it. And now you're like, oh no, you can't do that. What do you think they're going to do?
Yeah.
They're boosters. And you're telling them that their money can now get better people to the school that they want to be good? What did you think was going to happen? And retroactively 10 months? This is insane.
And they're going to find out every school was doing this. I mean, a booster is not going to give their money anonymously. They're going to be like, hey, can I meet the kid? I want to make sure this is going to be a good partnership. If they are like an actual company that wasn't made to do this. But.
Yeah, you got people creating shell companies.
Yeah.
Who are like working for the school, but not really working for the school to get these people.
They could have shut that down right away. It could have been like no shell companies. The second, like we knew about the shell companies 9 months ago, right? Like,
dude, it's nuts.
These teams have been preparing for this, and the NCAA clearly was not.
No, they were not.
Wild.
Oh, Matt Gann, I want to circle the WaGanns now. But the first question I have for you before you start, do you have any insight into what the heck is happening with Mackenzie Donahoo and why she's not with the team anymore?
No, I just officially saw the statement from Patty today that she's no longer going to be with the team, no longer going to see her. So
crazy.
I've seen some rumors out there. It's hard to say what exactly it is. I've heard that she's transferring. I heard it was a couple other things, but nothing's confirmed. So obviously, best of luck to her. She's always been kind of the energy behind the team.
She was your girl, man. You were big time Air Donahoo.
Air Donahoo. I mean, who can forget the catch? I mean, it's hard to forget. So who knows what the reason is? Obviously, best of luck to her. She's been a pretty big staple for OU for the last couple of years.
All right, let's circle those WaGanns, baby. Let's get it.
Of course.
One more thing on that. I mean,
let's hit it.
I also saw that the locker room may have kicked her out.
I saw that too.
There's a lot
that's
there.
juicy.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened if that's the case.
Yeah, I saw something. There might have been a team vote that she got in with Patty. It's hard to say, right? Unless you're inside the locker room. I mean, all the other news outlets and the people I've seen on Twitter that are into OU softball, nothing's confirmed. So
yeah, getting into the best coach in softball history that's not a good idea. Never going to win that.
Bad looks.
Bad looks.
No one,
for sure.
No one's bigger than the program, and Patty Gasso is the program.
She is the program.
Give the program the Patty.
That's pretty much it. All right, Gann.
Absolutely. Well, before I jump into softball, because they've had a huge weekend last week, and obviously their season just ended the regular season. So a lot of the Big 12 awards came out. So I want to hop in that at the very end. So I want to give you some quick updates on a couple other programs that are doing just as well. So OU's men's baseball. I know I've been getting a little bit of a hard time this year.
Deservedly so. Don't feel bad.
So they've definitely been up and down. Their last couple of games, they lost to Dallas Baptist 10-1. Then they came and played TCU, won 2 out of 3 against TCU on the road. So not bad for them. Overall, they're 29-17. And from what I've seen is They are projected to make the regionals. It's kind of, all the different NCAA sports. I always go to regionals, super regionals, all that. So they are projected to make it, which is always good, right? You can't complain about trying to make it to the postseason. So they next have a 3-game series, I guess, West Virginia. And then they have, I think, only 4 or 5 more games left in the regular season before they head to the Big 12 tournament as well. And so we got a couple people in the regionals. I haven't talked about them yet because I've talked about the other side of this sport. I've talked a lot of OU women's tennis. OU's men's tennis actually did make it to the regionals. They beat number 23 Louisville 4-2. Then they turned around, got smacked 4-0 to Michigan, who's number 5 in the country. Now, OU is unranked going into it, so I don't think there's a lot of expectations. But again, another program making it to the postseason. You love to see it, no matter who it is, whatever your season was. It's always good to make it the postseason. Right?
Always.
So good season for them. Now, the women, they are currently in the regionals. They just beat Bryant 4-0. They beat number 17 Arizona State 4-3. Now they are heading to super regionals this weekend, and they are playing number 15 Stanford. I want to say it was still in Oklahoma, but I'll have to TBD on the location for that. But the women still continuing to have an outstanding season, historic season, definitely in OU women's tennis history. So good for them. Now, OU's men's golf, they recently won the Big 12 championship just a couple weekends ago. And I told you guys on the last podcast during this segment, they are playing regionals this week in Norman, since it did get moved from Alabama due to course conditions. So if you're in Norman this weekend, head on over to Jimmy Austin, root on the number 1 Sooners in the nation as they head into regionals this weekend. So those are just a couple of the quick updates on the other programs. Before I head into the main one, let's give it up to the women of OU softball. Big 12 season regular champs after clinching a 3-0 series against their home state rivals, Oklahoma State. And let's just not forget, and that third game of OSU, they were down 1-3 in the bottom, I believe, the 5th or 6th inning. Jocelyn also comes up to bat, bases loaded. What do you guys think happened? She hits an absolute moon of a grand slam to put the Sooners in the lead.
I thought it would be a smasher.
Smackaroo.
Smacker.
Absolute grand smacker for our girl.
Smackaroos.
Jocelyn Allo. So they ended up beating OSU and claiming that regular season title. They will be the number 1 seed going into the Big 12 tournament this weekend, and they will play, since they get a first round bye, will either play Baylor or Iowa State, the winner of that game. But like I mentioned to you before, a lot of Big 12 season awards. So I got to go through the list because, there's a lot of them. So let's start with Patty Gasso. We were just talking about her. Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Shocking.
I think it's obvious, right? The Sooners were 48-1, 35 run rule wins, 455 total runs scored, and only 41 total runs allowed. Crazy. I think based on those stats alone, anyone could have been the Coach of the Year on that staff. Let's just be real. So looking at the other awards here, obviously Jocelyn Allo, Big 12 unanimous first team. Alyssa Brito, Big 12 second team. Jordy Ball, freshman pitcher of the year.
Nice.
Bang,
and
bang.
Big 12
McGann was on her
team
from the jump.
as well.
That's right. Matt Give yourself some credit, man. You were there before the season even started.
Calling out Jordy Ball.
Guys, she has absolutely lived up to the hype. I've watched a lot of the highlights, a lot of the games, and watching her pitch, it is absolutely incredible. And it's not just her, the whole pitching staff, which I know at the very beginning when we started was kind of the makeshift of, hey, is this going to work? This is kind of the weak point, and they've actually been the strongest point other than the offense. So she gets Big 12 first team in her first year. So congratulations to her. Jada Coleman, also Big 12 first team, and Tiara Jennings as well. And then Grace Lyons, Big 12 first team and defensive player of the year. She has got to be, and to those words, I saw the quote, Patty Gasso says is the best defensive shortstop she has ever seen in college softball history. So that is some big news coming out of Big 12 and obviously from Patty Gasso as well. So you love to see it. A huge, huge win for the Sooners this weekend. And what a regular season, obviously historic as I head into the postseason. So looking forward to the Big 12 championship and then regionals.
What an electric circle the WaGanns. Way to go, Matt Gann. Once again, credit to Matt Gann on Jordy Ball from the jump. I'm glad Mark pointed it out because he really was. And Matt, the segment's sweeping the nation. I'm telling you right now, sweeping Sooner Nation. You know what else is sweeping Sooner Nation? Pat's hot take. Pat, I need it.
All right.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
I'm intrigued with this one today.
Yeah, I was
know
teasing it last week. I was teasing it because Mark wanted to give it. Mark wanted us to give predictions about next year's OU football program and things like that. And I started rolling off. I was only supposed to give one. I think I gave two. I was about to give three kind of thing. This is the third. This is something I've been thinking about a lot because since I was a student at OU, I was always worried about OU Texas. I was always worried about coming off of a bye week. And the reason being was mostly because OU Texas, it doesn't really matter who the better team is. It really matters about the team that's more prepared and mentally ready for that game. And same coming off bye weeks, for some reason, we always played poorly or lost because we just weren't mentally ready for the game, which is crazy. My hot take is that at least for this year, with Brent Venables at the helm, we do not have to worry about OU Texas or Nebraska or coming off of a bye week because he knows how to get us mentally ready. And I think those games are going to be key to our success this season, and we're going to win them all.
Do you think that we need to worry about OSU as well?
Yeah, just every big game. OSU is a rivalry game, but we typically beat them. So I'm like less worried about OSU, especially since they're not at the end of the season. That always worries me a little more.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. We almost beat him with a coach who had his foot out the door. You know what I mean?
That's right.
A coach who was calling plays to lose the game.
Yeah, it was wild. It's amazing. It's amazing. I will never forget.
Muffed a punt.
I will never. Oh, dude, I'm sick of talking about Lincoln Riley, but I just need to get this off because I've never said this on the pod. I will never forgive him for making me care and fight off as many haters as I did at the Copper Penny in Stillwater, Oklahoma, the night of that game. I was in Stillwater, enemy territory, watching the OU game, cheering my guts out, living and dying with every play, and he didn't even care.
Yep.
He didn't even care. He was trying to lose.
Causing it. Yeah.
I'm sick. I'll never forgive him.
You have this electric video of you like on the bar just going crazy after we
dude, I was boomer soonering in there. I was getting booed so loud. It was electric. Oh, I was feeling it. But Pat, I like the hot take. So I think the take itself about being ready for bigger games and coming off of bye weeks more prepared, that speaks volumes to what Brent Venables is. I don't think you watch a practice or watch this team in the spring game, they're not going to come into anything like unprepared. They just won't. They might at some point they may get out game planned or something, but in terms of like lack of effort or anything like that, you definitely won't see it. And that's what we saw a lot with Lincoln Riley's team.
Yeah. Last thing on there, I think Nebraska's spring game attendance was like 4th or 5th best in the country with 55,000, which is impressive. I mean, they will be loud, but
they roll out.
Yeah,
they roll out.
Yeah, so I agree with you on the aspect that we'll be ready. We will have a game plan that will actually be worked throughout and not just the first half of games. But I think what I'm going to get a better idea of this team is, like you mentioned, Pat, will be that first road game, true road game up in Nebraska. Up there, that will give me a bigger tell for what the rest of the season will outplay. Because again, Nebraska's coming off not a great season either. They actually had a lot of close games against big teams, but they're not the Nebraska of old, like back in the Big 12. So, like you said, the stadium's going to be loud. It's going to be our first true road test for BV. If we come out of that game, that'll give you some more confidence for the rest of the season and those other big games, like you mentioned.
True. Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the take. I think that this coaching staff is going to be building men and not just football players, but these guys are going to be ready for these situations. So I have faith in that more than I have in a while. And I think Pat's onto something here.
Yeah, and I think something to wrap this up is that you hear former players say how badly they wish they could play for Brent Venables, especially guys who played in the Lincoln Riley era. To me, that speaks volumes, because these are college kids at the end of the day. These are kids. They feed off of the energy that you give them. They're not professional athletes who go out there and they have a job to do and they go get paid. These are guys playing for passion and playing for school, and they're playing for their head coach, the guy who told them to come there. Like, they didn't get drafted. So their passion is whatever you give them, and your energy is whatever you put into them. And I think we see that. Like, we can see that with Brent, and it's going to be different. And I'm looking forward to it.
They see a dog.
Yeah.
We haven't had a dog. They see a dog.
Yep.
He is. He's an absolute dog. Boys.
Great take, Pat.
Great take.
Hey,
Pat, good job. Good one this week. You're
2 in a row.
You're on a roll, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't call it a hot streak. Hot take, hot streak.
No.
You won't. NBA, we'll update the NBA playoffs real quick. On Tuesday night, the Miami Heat beat the 76ers 120-85. Blowout alert, Matt, blowout alert. Thank you. Appreciate that. They lead the series 3-2. Suns beat the Dallas Mavericks 110-180. Matt, blowout alert.
Wah, wah. Poor for the Mavs.
That was
Come
a
on.
different blowout alert.
For the Mavs.
Oh,
my team.
for the
My team.
yeah, because you're a big Mavs guy.
My team.
My team.
I can't.
The worst.
I can't.
What's the OKC Thunder?
Yeah,
Guys, we always root for other teams when our team's not in the playoffs. Come on, that's fair. We all know that. Come on.
Who does that?
Do. I do all the time.
Pat, yeah, you're right.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
Well, sure, but Patrick has no shame about anything.
Oh,
Matt,
Patrick.
have some.
Oh, Patrick,
Me
I
and
love
Pat,
you.
baby.
My
Pat
team won the
goes
Super
lead.
Bowl this year. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jeez.
Oh my God, that's so good. By the way, Suns lead that series 3-2. Celtics to Bucks playing right now. Celtics are up by 5 with a few minutes left, and by now I mean Wednesday night. By Thursday morning, while you're listening to this on your drive to work,
what happened.
you know what happens. And I'm repping my Celtics jersey. If you could see on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe on there. If you could, please. Golden State, Memphis, they're playing later on Wednesday night. You'll know the score of that at the end of this. But going into the game, Golden State leads the series 3-1. Ja Morant, bone bruise in his knee. He's listed as doubtful for the rest of the playoffs. And you can go ahead and stick a fork in the Grizzlies. They are done.
Dunzo.
That's tough. Who wants to talk about James Harden?
Oh, that was me.
Patrick would, Pat.
Every opportunity I can, I'll just say that James Harden's a bum. I don't like the guy. That's all I had on it. I didn't really want to talk about him,
You don't
but
want to talk
I
about
just
it?
had to. Yeah.
Mark was upset that
It's
he
just-
had the audacity.
Any success that Patrick remembers from the Houston Rockets is because of James Harden. And
Yeah,
That's
me,
that.
bro.
how much of Val did you watch, Pat?
I was a big Tracy
None.
McGrady guy.
Yeah, how much of Tracy McGrady did you watch, Pat?
I'm just saying, I agree with you, Mark, but
Okay.
that doesn't
Thank you.
take away from what he has turned into and has become in the last year and a half.
Oh, he's not as good as he used to be, no doubt about that. But bum is crazy.
Well, I just don't like how he left the Rockets. He just tried so hard to eat as
Rockets
many
are in a-
cheeseburger as possible and get all the strip clubs he could to get out of there.
The
and
Rockets
he did it successfully. So, I mean,
Well, and the Rockets did it successfully.
That's true.
because the Rockets have a cornerstone
Right.
and haven't gotten any picks from the Nets yet. So
yeah,
win-win.
I
We get
I
to
do
eat
agree
Philly
with that. We're in a
cheesesteaks
better
now,
spot.
and we have a bright future.
That's true.
Philly
Matt,
James.
anything to add?
Philly Jim.
No, I'm just going to go back to the previous pod that Oklahoma City is going to be better in the next 4 or
Here
5
we
years
go.
than,
All right,
than
we're
the
not doing
Rockets
this.
will ever
We're
be.
not doing
Just
this
saying,
again.
just saying.
For the
We're
record.
not-
Put it right
we're
here,
not-
4 or 5 years later when we
We're
hear
not-
it. Mark's
we're
going to be
not-
like, yeah, dude, Jalen Green, he's so good. I mean, Shay's going to be going for MVP and he'll be the top of the West. So.
All right, Mark gets to respond because you mocked him. So go ahead.
It's fine. I mean, he's wrong, but when he's wrong, he's going to be like, well, Luka's got 32 points. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing to say.
I know this probably isn't a hot take or anything, but Luka Doncic has to be the most unathletic looking
Yeah.
athletic person ever. Besides the MVP, Nikola Jokic. besides Joker.
They both look pretty unathletic. Yeah,
dude, it's wild. It's crazy.
Chubby Europeans are in.
Dude, they really are.
Pat, put some weight on.
Chubby Europeans, Jack Harlow and Pete Davidson. They're all.
Oh my God, Jack Harlow, dude, I cannot.
Oh gosh,
you can't.
He took "Glamorous" by Fergie, and he just played it on the radio in 2022, and everyone remembered how much they loved that song. And he put some "us" in it, and he made another couple other lines in between the songs, and then he's like number one on the charts. You're kidding? It's like literally painting a picture black. And I tweeted this 3 weeks ago. Did not get any likes or anything. It's like painting, so early. It's like painting a picture black and putting it in a museum. Anyone could have done it. The only thing is that he did it. That's it.
Yeah. Every time I hear "Glamorous," I go off. So like,
the "Glamorous" is a great song.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I've never listened to a Jack Harlow song though.
You haven't. That's surprising.
I'm not going to.
You're not a Jack Harlow guy.
I'm fine.
I get it. That's fine. Okay. No worries.
I'll live.
You know who's not? You know what Jack Harlow's not? It's the MVP. He's not an MVP.
He's not an MVP.
And we're going to talk about our MVPs of the week. I'm going to go ahead and start us off this week. Guys, my MVP of the week is going to be Austin Stogner. He graduated from the University of Oklahoma. 21 hours this semester he completed while in Columbia going at it with Shane Beamer. He tweeted out that he graduated, and he gave a huge shout out to Joe Castiglione for taking care of him this last semester. He certainly didn't have to help me out, but he did. Great AD, but a better person. Quote, once a Sooner, always a Sooner, end quote. Shout out to Austin Stogner, man. That's awesome. Yep. Anytime these guys get to graduate, it warms my heart, because in reality, like, we want to talk about money and NIL and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, this is going to matter a lot more than football down the line for a guy like Austin Stogner. So that's really cool.
People can take money away from you, but they can't take their degree away.
That's right. Yep. What you got, Pat?
Rich Strike, the horse that won the Kentucky Derby, 80-1 odds. That is my MVP. Did you guys watch it?
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Did you guys see the replay?
I saw the aerial view though. That's amazing. We should watch the race like that the entire time. That's how it should be always.
Came back from the back. The horse was just eyeing people. It was wild, eyeing other horses. Like, it was wild. It was like, oh, I'm gonna be quicker than you. Like, made moves out there.
That horse was on bath salts.
If you see the replay, it is actually pretty fantastic how far back he was and where he ended up winning, because the favorite Epicenter at 9-2 was way out in the lead, and then Rich Strike came out of absolute nowhere and bolted right by him at the very end. It was, if you see the replay, it's absolutely incredible. Good for Rich.
He had the second to worst odds to ever win a Kentucky Derby. And the last one who had worse odds, that was in 1913.
You know where that horse is from?
Where?
He's from Oklahoma. He's a program guy.
Oh, no way.
He always was.
Rich Strike, really?
Rich Strike. He's from Oklahoma. I swear. Look it up. I promise.
There is one. Look it up. One other thing on this. Mike Leach tweeted after this. This is why the playoff should be expanded to more teams to let everyone or more people have their shot. So wrapping it back around to football.
That's so great.
It's not the same, but
yeah,
we love
it's
to see
not the same.
Definitely
at all,
not the same. His Mississippi State team wouldn't stand a shot in that playoff. Let's be real. But okay, sure. Matt, who you got?
Yeah, anytime I can go back home and talk about the Norman North T-Wolves, my high school alum, I got to give it up to my boy,
paid
Jake.
Yeah, the T-Wolves paying?
Guys, and you'll understand why I brought him up.
I don't know who that is. Do you guys know who that is?
Hey, well, that's why I'm telling you, Pat. Okay. So listen up here, son.
Listen up.
Son. Plays for the Norman North golf team. Led his team to their first state title in Norman North history, and he is an OU golf commit. So I have to give a shout out.
I like that.
I had to bring it around. Led his team to victory, coming to OU under Ryan Heupel. Should be exciting.
Dude, amazing.
I had to give him my MVP, and shout out to Norman North. Also, I had to step in here because I just realized high school. 10-year reunion. Is anyone going to their 10-year reunion? Mason, did you go to yours?
Ours got canceled because of COVID, or not canceled, but moved. And they're trying to figure it out. Honestly, will I go? Probably not. And speaking of which, I graduated from Jinx High School, like the mecca of like talking about where you went to high school.
Right.
And Matt still talks about Norman North more than me.
Right.
I'm going back to high school reunion. I'll be there, baby.
Actually.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Mark,
Put it that way.
Yeah.
Like no one talks about their high school this much.
It's wild.
Mark, I did hear an update about ours.
Oh, you did? What's that?
So this guy named Mason's supposed to plan it. And he was like, I'm not planning. I'm sure Greg will, but I don't know if they've even talked. So that's where we're at, supposedly.
I mean, I am not at all surprised by that. Are you?
No.
I feel like we knew that shit when it was going down. Bro, I'm not going to say names, but everyone we entrusted to do stuff. Why did we entrust the people that we did?
Should have been you.
No, because I knew at the time I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But we just put like
10 years is a long time.
We put stupid social climbers in these positions where they could get voted for these things. So dumb. Anyway, guys, my MVP.
Yeah, give it to us.
My MVP is the homie Matt Gann.
Love it.
Not very many people know this, but my girlfriend recently set Matt up on a blind date that then we all hung out one time after the blind date. And then Matt and this woman came to a respectful agreement to remain friends. And they had a very nice conversation about it. And it was super duper cordial. And that's one of those things that doesn't happen. Let me tell you guys, when Pat was single, he was ghosting.
Dude.
When I was single, I was ghosting.
Dude.
When Mason was single, he was ghosting.
The facts.
So,
Facts.
so like, shout out to you, Matt, for being a gentleman. Ladies, if you're listening all the way through this deep into the pod, he is still single. And I just shout out to Matt, MVP for the week.
What a guy.
I didn't know where this was going or what you're going to bring up, but I'm glad it turned out to be this. I appreciate it.
Welcome, bud.
Good job, Matt. I'm really proud of you, man.
Good job. Broke up with Cassie's friend, you dick.
He's still going to be the favorite. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
He's still Cassie's
it doesn't
favorite.
matter. That's the thing. All he had to do was be nice.
He can do no wrong.
And
yeah,
he can do no wrong.
It's amazing.
It's garbage.
And just like that, episode 18 is going to be a wrap, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Program Guys Podcast. Like or follow us on Twitter at Program Guys with a Z. Follow us on Instagram, Program Guys with a Z. Check out our Facebook page, Program Guys Podcast. Post our content there as well. Be sure to comment on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. All of that stuff helps us out more than you know, guys. Truly, it really, really does. And we appreciate it as well. I want to do a quick shout out. I'm the best man in a wedding this weekend. Congratulations, Brandon Kitchens and Christina Kitchens. Love you guys. Wish you nothing but happiness. Pat, take us out.
Keep pushing it, baby.